What is going on, guys? I am Rob,
I'm Lex.
and welcome back. This is episode 4 of the 616 podcast,
Big
your
boy.
main timeline for all things news, comics, pop culture, and MCU.
Yo.
Let's go ahead. Let's get started right here with the icebreakers. Halloween. That's right. Halloween was just this past weekend.
That's right.
Lex, how was it? How was it? I saw
It's
some
good,
pictures
man.
of you in your little costume. How'd that
That's
go?
right. Yeah, dude. I mean, I had fun. And me and my girlfriend went out trick or treating for the first time. It was her first time trick or treating. I haven't been trick or treating in it's probably been like 8 years. I think I was. Yeah, man. It's been a while. Close to 8 years, if anything. But yeah, it's been a while since we went to trick or treating. But it was her first time trick or treating. So I had fun. We had a blast. It was mainly just like I almost felt like a parent, dude. Seeing your girlfriend like having that much fun, just walking in. You saw her costume. She went dressed as Sam from Trick or Treat. That horror fans are gonna know what I'm talking about.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
so she was having a blast, dude. It was so fun. And then I was dressed as Johnny Storm, mind you. I paid close to like $200 to that for that costume. I wore it to the Fantastic Four fan event. I went dressed as Johnny
I was gonna say,
Storm.
it was the one that you wore, right? To the
Exactly. I have a Galactus helmet. The Galactus, that $80 popcorn bucket, that I use that as my trick or treat basket, right? So that was, a little bit of creativity there. So I went to Johnny Storm with a Galactus bucket. So I was getting a lot of compliments, don't get me wrong. It's pretty cool. I love that suit. It's super good material. Comes with the shoes, the gauntlets, the boots, the whole shebang. Dude, she was getting more. She spent $60 on her costume, and she was getting a lot more compliments than I was.
It's a classic
Dude,
movie, though. It
it
really
is. But there was so many like Sam, and then whenever I would get any compliments, I was getting called Mr. Fantastic. Bro, I was actually so pissed. I was like, it's pretty distinguishable, right? I guess because we're like fans of like the movies and stuff like that. But but we know what Johnny Storm's suit looked like. We know what the things look like. We know Mr. Fantastic. We know what they look like. Sue Storm's obviously is completely different. Like I think like I just recognize the white up top here from Johnny
Yeah, I was
Storm
about to say,
from the first
suit
steps.
gives it away. The suit
Yeah,
gives it away.
but I
But
mean,
sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but I was just getting a lot of Mr. Fantastics.
Yeah, I mean, and to their point, I mean, shout out Pedro Pascal. I mean, obviously he's like one of the like he's a Latino actor that's playing a huge comic book character. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You yourself are a Latino too, so
yeah.
it's like you know what I
I'm of
mean.
the darker complexion, so maybe that's what they thought. They were like,
You
okay,
know.
yeah,
So
I get you.
uh, but I mean, to those who knew, I mean, again, the suit gives it away. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody on that team is wearing like almost the same thing, but Reed Richards.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'm glad. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad your girlfriend had a good time.
yeah, dude,
My
we had a
Halloween
blast.
was pretty good too. And my goddaughter was Robin, and
That's cute.
man, and I was Batman obviously because I had the helmet.
Yeah,
We were walking around and dude, so many compliments on the Robin costume. Just because, oh man, it was adorable. A
yeah.
6-year-old walking around in like a little Robin costume
Did she have the little mask?
amazing. She did.
That's
She
so
did.
cute, dude.
Yeah, no,
So
it
cute.
was super adorable. Yeah, and then I just found out too this past week that what was it called? Nightwing. Nightwing was actually the #1 superhero costume this
Yes.
year, which is
Yeah,
super dope. That is super cool.
it's good.
No, yeah, it was super dope. So,
Yeah, I barely saw. I think I saw like two Nightwings with me and my girlfriend saw like two Nightwings.
mhm,
But I want to put this PSA out here for anybody that's going to be wearing skin tight outfits to Halloween or to cosplays or to
right.
any event out where you're just wearing
mhm.
some outfits that are skin tight. For the love of God, invest in a dance belt. It is not that expensive. You order on Amazon. We don't want to see your dingaling and your jangalings just printing through the suit. I get it. Maybe sometimes you can't afford it, but what I did,
Mhm.
I threw in some leggings, two pairs of underwears, and another pair of leggings underneath, and it was perfectly fine. You couldn't see a print. There was nothing. You were completely fine. So just plan accordingly, please, because there's a lot of
It's the
people.
most courteous thing you can do. You know what I mean? Obviously,
Yes.
they mean well. And it might be their first time wearing those
Yeah.
type of suits, but it's
I get it's uncomfortable, so it's gonna be a little uncomfortable, but beauty hurts, brother. It's gonna be a little bit uncomfortable, but beauty hurts, and it just makes the cosplay that much more better when you're not distracted by a bulge and a print there. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, honestly, yeah, Nightwing was a huge one that I was seeing all over TikTok, and I saw a couple of them when we were out there trick or treating. But now let's get on with the news. Doomsday news. This is slowly becoming a Doomsday podcast, but as you guys know, that this is the biggest movie of our generation. I'm doubling down on it. I don't care. I have said it before that I think that this has potential to be better than Infinity War and Endgame combined. I am standing by that. I'm doubling down. Russo brothers, I have an amazing track record. We got Civil War, we got Winter Soldier. Kevin Feige obviously has an amazing track record. I'm doubling down. I have trust in Marvel completely. So the tagline reads, Lewis Pullman is said to have finished filming for Avengers Doomsday. Now, a lot of fans are worried because it seems a little bit like they're killing him off at the end of Avengers Doomsday, and just because he finished filming, people are like speculating that, well, this is it. That's all we're going to get for the century. We don't know how long he was filming for. To be honest, it felt, I think it was almost like 2-3 months that from what I read when he began filming until now. So the headline that was all over the place says, unless I get another call, I'm just along for the ride. And that's it. That's what the headline is. And I mean, just given that context, it doesn't seem like, you know, he's gonna come back at all, and it's very worrisome. But I did some digging myself. I actually found the interview of what Lewis Pullman actually says, and it's a lot more context than what people make it out to be and what those headlines make it out to be. I get it. People are clickbaiting. People want to, you know, get those views and get, you know, the articles have to be a little bit clickbaity to get those views. But what he actually says is, as far as I know, unless I get another call, he shrugs. Who knows how it all goes? I'm just along for the ride. And the reporter responds, is that kind of how it is? It's just like, hey, can you come by? And then he replied, yeah, haha, I'm just by the phone. I'm ready for the phone call. Now, given this context, I do think he's done for now, but it's more so just like there's a lot of rewrites happening, right? There's a lot of rewrites happening, and as they go, from what we heard, it's not, I don't think it chalks a century completely. I really don't. I think it's just, you don't introduce a character as strong as Sentry and then just kill him off that fast.
And I think also to that point too is, I mean, like you said, a lot of reshoots happen. You know,
Yeah.
so a lot of actors who are done filming have to come back to kind of, you know, like tie up all these loose ends or create these new end credit scenes. So I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that he's like completely done. And it's true. You know, he's just waiting for a call, because at any given moment that call can happen. You know what I mean? I think we saw it with Thunderbolts, right? Like I think Thunderbolts had finished shooting, and then on the set of Doomsday, they shot some more scenes. You know,
the post credit scene. They've shot literally the whole post credit scene was shot on the set of Doomsday, and it was shot, and it was also shot by the Russo brothers as well. So I mean, yeah, I mean, rewrites are happening as the movie is going, which is, I mean, I get it. It's concerning for sure, it is, but it still doesn't. For me, it doesn't diminish the fact of what the Russo brothers have done. But I will, to the benefit of the doubt of the doubters. I mean, to benefit, I guess, the doubters. Anything that wasn't Marvel, like I think the Russo brothers worked on that Love movie, that the robot Love and Robots, I think it was called, with Millie Bobby Brown and Chris Pratt. I heard it was awful, but again, it's not a Marvel movie. Their thing is like Marvel movies, so they haven't given us a bad Marvel movie since. But so still, I have faith in you guys, 100%. But is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing if Sentry's done writing or is done filming this fast and this early? It's a bad thing for Sentry fans, I think, because I mean, if it's that fast, it's like, how big of a role is Sentry going to play? A lot of people were speculating that the Void was going to be the one that was going to be kind of he's the reality warper in the comics. Sentry's a reality warper, so people thought he was going to play the place of Franklin Richards. Obviously not anymore, because Franklin Richards was obviously introduced now. Or sorry, rather the place of Molecule Man, but Franklin Richards got introduced, so I'm assuming Franklin Richards is going to play the part of Molecule Man. But yeah, I mean, I just, for Sentry fans, this might be a little bit of bad news, but I don't think overall it's bad for Sentry, because I think that he's still going to get a call, maybe to get a little bit of reshoots going on. I wanted to talk a little bit about who you think the leading role for Avengers Doomsday was going to be, because we have a lot of concerns to address with Doomsday. Obviously, one of the biggest concerns is how we're going to fit all of those characters into one movie. We had that concern with Infinity War. We had that concern with Endgame. They did it perfectly, in my opinion, but it's a lot more people now. Obviously, now we got the X-Men. Where people are even talking about the Exiles, which has a little bit to do with the X-Men, but Inhumans has been rumored as well. I'm not sure how far they'll go with that. That'd be really cool. I really love Black Bolt and Multiverse of Madness for the little piece that we got him in, at least. But yeah, I mean, who do you think the really leading role is going to be? Because I've heard rumors of Pedro Pascal, obviously Captain America, but it's like we haven't really seen Cap a lot in a lot of projects since. the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I mean, and somebody made a great point the other day too, where it's like the only time we've really seen Cap was in his movie Captain America: Brave New World, and then the Falcon and the Winter Soldier towards the end, where he became Captain America. We've seen him more as the Falcon than we've seen him as Captain America. So it's like, and then I mean,
True. That's true.
so there's not a lot to kind of put Sam Wilson in that leading role.
Screen,
Yeah.
I know in Thunderbolts, I don't know how many months had gone by when the new Avengers had formed.
Right.
I think there was a bit of a time jump, wasn't there?
Yes.
So I think maybe I mean you can let me know if you disagree on this. It might be a little bit of lazy writing to kind of like have a bunch of things happen off screen, so like maybe Cap took on like a bunch of these new like responsibilities. Maybe there's a bunch of things that was going on, a bunch of events that we didn't see off screen. Minor, of course, obviously because it might not have been big enough to see or kind of have a movie about it.
Yeah.
Because do you remember what the time jump was? Was it like 6 months or something?
I think it was like, was it 6 months? I thought it was like
It was something
14 months or something like that. I don't know.
enough for
Maybe.
him to already
Yeah.
form his own Avengers, right?
Yeah. Yeah. True.
He formed an Avengers, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
in the
I think it was. I don't know.
process.
I don't know if it was like in the process or if he had already formed or has. Because for sure we know for sure it's Joaquin Phoenix, which is the Falcon now. He's a new Falcon, and obviously it's him.
Mhm.
And
Not
that's
Phoenix, Joaquin.
Joaquin Torres. Sorry, not Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, Joaquin Torres, which is the Falcon.
Bro's
That's the
trying to bring
Falcon's
in the
name.
Joker in this,
I
bro.
know, bro.
Bro's
Yeah,
trying to talk about the Joker.
Joaquin Torres. Joaquin Torres is which is the Falcon in the comics. Or
Right.
one of the Falcon in the comics. He picks up the mantle of the Falcon, and he's the one of the Avengers after he almost dies in that
Yeah.
whole pretty sick flight scene that they had in like in the ocean next to the celestial head. But yeah, I mean, I just
Sorry,
don't know.
to answer your question. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of people in this movie. You know what I mean? So I think it only makes sense, kind of what we've already had with the Avengers. We've had two leaders basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's always been Iron Man and Cap. Iron Man in the sense of like he was like the smart one, technologically speaking.
Yeah.
He handled a lot of those, a lot of those things, and Cap was more of that noble. Um, I don't know how to word it, but you essentially know what I
Yeah.
mean, right? And it was always them two, at the head of the monster. It was
Yeah.
them two, and then obviously you had the other members behind. So I mean, it could be the same concept where, Reed is the leader of the Fantastic Four, and he works with. I mean, this one's gonna be tricky. Cap, I want to say it's it's Captain America. Obviously Sam Wilson's Captain America.
Yeah.
Maybe Cyclops is the other leader for you get me. I think it happened in Endgame too, where it was Captain America and Iron Man, and then Guardians of the Galaxy, with Peter Quill. Multiple leaders basically working together as the leaders. For to
Yeah.
each respective groups. And I think it has to go that route, right?
Yeah.
Like you know,
I mean, it could be.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's just I just don't think. Listen, like, I love Sam Wilson's Captain America. That is my Captain America. I just don't know if, and this is nothing against Anthony Mackie because his acting was amazing. He just doesn't have that aura of like leader like that Captain America did. He didn't ever really portray that. A little bit in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Um, Brave New World was pretty good, but it just again it didn't radiate that that aura that Steve Rogers that Chris Evans Steve Rogers gave, and it's just I think a lot of that is to do with the fact that we haven't seen him in a lot of projects since. Like we haven't.
It could be that.
It's a Phase 5 was legitimately pretty quick like it's just like we didn't have a lot of build up to this event for Secret Wars, and I guess
Yeah.
and Doomsday. I guess everything and all of this was building up to Secret Wars, like including Infinity War, including Endgame. I guess but still, we saw a lot more of him as the Falcon than we did as Captain America, and we have a lot less time for build ups compared to what we had for the big movie.
Yeah,
like Infinity War.
that's
And Endgame.
literally. I was literally gonna say that too because it's like you're kind of throwing him into the fire right away. You know what I mean? Like imagine we had Chris Evans Captain America literally start in Endgame. You know what I mean? Literally one of the biggest Avengers movies to date. You know what I mean? Like you're throwing him into the Avengers movie. Not a Avengers movie.
Yeah,
but
and it's a huge leading role that he has to pick up because you have to because there's nobody when I think of somebody giving somebody like a pep talk and a motivational speech, like of course like
Hmm.
Sam would be great for that, but there's
Hmm.
none like Chris Evans Captain America, where I mean that scene and after the
It,
portal
it
scene and where he
just
finally said
radiated
Avengers
a leader.
assemble,
He
and yeah,
radiated
he was
that
willing to
leadership.
take on all of them on once. And I'm not saying Sam
Hmm.
Wilson wouldn't be able to do that, because of course he
Hmm.
would. And then obviously there's that conversation of Sam Wilson not having a soldier serum, which I don't think he ever should have. And that's one of the biggest things of his character arc, is that he doesn't have that, and that's the reason, like, he's just that much more heroic and just his will. But I mean, he's like I said, he's my favorite in the
I agree.
comics. I don't know who would play the leading role in Avengers Doomsday that would radiate that. And I guess one of my, I guess I don't know if it's considered a hot take, but one of my takes would be, I guess Doctor Strange is definitely, in my opinion, the Iron
Yeah.
Man, what Iron Man was to phase like one
Yeah.
through four. Like right now, he has been
Hmm.
tying everything together. He's the one that's kind of like the person that is just kind of bringing everybody together right now. And it's just
Hmm.
it's I think Doctor Strange, have if anything, has that leadership kind of look
And he
to
has the
him.
most range. He has
Yeah,
the most range too.
exactly. Like literally the portals
He's
and stuff
gone
like that,
through.
and yeah, dude,
He's gone through multiverses and stuff like that. I mean, he's met
and
a Reed Richards, so he
he's
kind of
he
already.
knows of the multiverse. He's also one of the few people that know of the multiverse, as well as the incursions as well. So I think
Mhm.
if anybody's gonna get the leading role,
Mhm.
if not Reed Richards, I think it should be Doctor Strange, because I just don't think we've seen Captain America, or Sam Wilson's Captain America, enough for us to actually justify us. It's 'cause not caring about him is I guess a harsh way of putting it, but I know there's a lot of people that feel that way. People don't care about Sam Wilson's Captain America because Steve Rogers is
Mhm.
their Captain America, because we had a lot more time to fall in love with that Captain America. But
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's just it's a tough one. Like I said, he's one of my
Mhm.
favorites. But who do you think is your favorite? Like considered, like, who do you consider to be your favorite? Like, I guess hero in the MCU right now.
In terms of leading, like a leading role, or
Yeah,
just I think once you brought it up, like it's the only one that made sense was Doctor not Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange.
Doctor
Doctor
Strange.
Strange.
Yeah.
That's the only one that makes sense. And then like I said, I think the range of
Hmm.
already being familiar with the multiverse, um, he had already met multiple heroes from different multiverses.
Yeah.
He knows of Reed Richards. He knows of Black Bolt. He understands that you know there's more to it than the heroes that we've seen.
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier. He knows of him, which I think he's returning to,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Um, so I think
Yeah.
it that's the one that makes sense to me. It's
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. That's the one that makes
I
sense to me.
agree. I agree. And I just started thinking about it too when I said that the incursions. I think the only or like he's one of the few people that know of the incursions.
Hmm.
I completely forgot that at the end of Brave New World, the leader had told Sam Wilson that other worlds are coming, and like there's gonna be like
Hmm.
like fights and stuff like that. So I guess
Yeah,
technically,
yeah,
I guess Sam Wilson, especially if with that time gap between Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, like when Sam Wilson was building his when Sam Wilson was
go
building
ahead.
his his, I guess, his Avengers team.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm assuming he would have done some digging with that,
Hmm.
with the incursion stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe he knows. Um, and obviously with Steve Rogers not being here, he's gonna have to be the one that says there's gonna have to be an Illuminati for sure. Obviously,
Hmm.
Illuminati is the ones that have they're the ones that are willing to do what has to be done for the sake of
Hmm.
the world. That figure out what to do with the incursions, how to
Hmm.
deal with the incursions. While Captain America in the comics, Captain America was the one that was kind of like, no, we're not doing this. What are you guys talking about? And
Yeah.
so they literally knocked him
Hmm.
out and erased his mind. But Captain America, slowly started figuring it out. And so that's a big part of the point of Secret War. So maybe they
I
go
think
that
we were
route.
talking about that too when the cast announcement was coming out. Like each member, I think me and you kept looking at like, oh my
Yeah,
god, the Illuminati. I think
Illuminati.
Patrick Stewart had gone on. We're like, wait, no, he was one of the last ones.
Yeah,
It was the one that plays Hank McCoy. It was obviously it was the
I
Hank
don't.
McCoy,
Yeah,
and then it was obviously oh my god, now I'm drawing
Namor,
a blank.
Namor,
Namor,
Namor's in
like
there.
all
Yeah,
after each once like it was completed, we're like, oh my god, they're gonna
Reed.
do
Yeah,
it.
of course. Yeah,
They're
they're
gonna
like,
do it.
yeah. I was like, they have to do Illuminati. They have to. I mean,
Hmm.
who meeting 1 in 10 minutes?
Just keep what we have, and then we'll move it.
We'll move to Discord. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yes, but Illuminati, it for sure has to be. It has to be one
Mhm.
of those things that you introduce, or not introduce, I guess reintroduce into Avengers
Yeah.
Doomsday.
I I was looking too. I don't. I think that was a point of conversation that we had when the announcement was going on. I don't think Benedict Cumberbatch was one of the people that were announced. I'm
No,
looking
yeah,
right
that
now.
those are what, yeah, those are ones, yeah,
Yeah.
as well as Peter Parker, there's Doctor Strange, yeah, Doctor Strange was announced, Peter
Doctor Strange one
Parker,
has to happen though.
yeah,
That one has to
he
happen.
100% is gonna be in that movie.
You
There's
know.
no end. If I think even in an interview he came out and said that he was gonna be in that movie, but I just think that
Hmm.
you know they just haven't announced him. Maybe something like to
Hmm.
do with contracts or something like that.
Yeah.
But um but yeah, it's definitely, yeah, we have to have those villains. I mean, because some of them are villains. Like Namor, like some people consider him anti-hero. He's a villain. I don't care. Namor is a
Yeah.
villain, but I
Mhm.
mean, he for sure he's one of my favorites. But I wanted to lead me into a question that I had with you: top 5 villains in media. Like, it doesn't even have to be in
Mm.
MCU. Like, what would you choose as your top 5? I can go first if you want.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So my top 5 villains in media doesn't necessarily have to be anything with MCU. You can do any villain of any franchise or any show. It could even be, it could be animated. Doesn't matter. But I'll go first. My
Mhm,
top
go ahead.
5 villains in media in no particular order. Maybe we'll rank
Mhm.
them, or yeah, maybe we'll rank them a little later. But top 5 in no particular order. Anthony Starr's Homelander in The Boys. Nothing needs to be
Mm.
said. That man is menacing. The slow buildup of him losing his insanity and losing the need to feel loved, and more so just
Mhm.
embracing it, embracing the need to feel fear. If I'm not loved, I
Mhm.
would rather be feared, and that's just as good. I think he had a whole monologue with Starlight about that. Phenomenal.
Mhm.
Anthony Starr's Homelander has been killing it. The Boys season 5's coming out next year. I cannot wait for that.
Phenomenal.
And of
Phenomenal.
course, we have Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin, OG Daredevil seasons, and Born Again. We forget
That's
about
a good one.
Echo because
That's a
that
good one.
Hawaiian shirt was the Hawaiian shirt. I mean, shirt. Of course, he wears it in the comics, but Echo, he was just whatever about it. I mean, I didn't really like him in Echo, but yes, OG Daredevil with Born Again and seasons 1 through 3, he's phenomenal. He really
Mhm.
just captures the essence of what Kingpin is. That menacing, especially when they're finally giving him that strength and just that bruteness, especially in Born Again when he was beating the crap out of Vanessa's lover. Oh my god, it was
Mhm.
phenomenal. He gave him the
Peak.
axe so he can have a little bit of a fighting chance just because he wanted that peak, peak, peak.
Mhm.
And of course, you can't have a top 5 villain list without having Heath Ledger's Joker. Uh, he's just a
Phenomenal.
must. He is just a must. Now I
Phenomenal.
understand that a lot of people don't like it, or I guess a little bit of a hot take, but if you're thinking main timeline Joker, I guess he's not the most accurate, but in terms of
Mhm.
performance and I guess Elseworld Jokers, he is unbelievable. And I'm just strictly
Mhm.
talking about villainous performances, so we're
Yeah.
not
No.
talking really comic accuracy. But Heath Ledger absolutely blew it out of the water. And
It was amazing.
yes, and then one of my favorite, which I don't hear a lot of people talk about this, Chukwudi Iwoji. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Sorry if I butchered that. High Evolutionary in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Mm.
Unbelievable performance from that man. That man can act. I'm sure he was even in Peacemaker, I think season 2, from what
He
I
was,
heard.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Season one and two.
dude,
Season one
he
and two.
he is unbelievable in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I have not
He's a
hated a
good
villain
actor.
that much since when Thanos snapped at the end of Infinity War. It
Hmm.
was it was that feeling of just hatred, and you couldn't wait to see him get his ass kicked. That
Hmm.
final scene with Rocket Raccoon only solidified
Hmm.
that a lot more, and then when he took his face
Yeah,
off,
yeah, yeah.
dude.
Hold on to that description that you're saying right now, because
Yeah,
one of the villains that I have is exactly, that same thought you have with
yeah,
the High Evolutionary is the same thought you're gonna have with this villain.
yeah.
Um,
And of course, my last one would be Josh Brolin as Thanos in Infinity War and Endgame, and obviously to the build up to
man,
Avengers. It was amazing when we finally got that reveal of the Infinity Gauntlet when he was like, "Fine, I'll do it
man,
myself." Screen
was it
cuts off
him?
to black. Yeah, that was him.
I
That
know, I
was
know
that
there
was
was
his.
two. There was two.
Yeah. So the first one wasn't. I think that was at the end of Avengers, and then I don't know
Mm.
if it was Age of Ultron. Was it where he
That
was
was
like,
him, right?
yeah, that was
Okay,
him. That was his voice and everything. It
dude.
was unbelievable. And then when we finally got that reveal of the Mad Titan, when, oh my god, it was unbelievable. Josh Brolin, for sure, there's no argument about it, is one of the best villains in media.
The range he has, man.
Yes,
He played
it's
Cable in
phenomenal.
Deadpool,
It's
man.
such like a peaceful, like almost like stoic, but still villainous, and
Mhm.
oh my gosh, and he was so strong in Endgame as well, going toe to toe with Captain America and Thor. Thor with the hammer as well. I mean, sorry,
Mhm.
Thor, not Cap with the hammer, and
Mhm.
a lot of people don't mention this at all. By the way, he broke vibranium. He broke Cap's vibranium shield, brother. He would have
Mhm.
killed him like that. A lot of people don't talk about that, but And of course, just some honorable mentions just for fun: Spider-Man 2, William Dafoe, and Alfonso Molina. I am not a fan of William Dafoe's mask in Spider-Man
Mm,
2.
okay.
I wasn't a fan of his mask, but his performance in No Way Home,
Mm.
amazing. And Alfonso Molina, of course, him as Otto Octavius was phenomenal. So
Like
those are my top
straight out of a
five.
comic book.
Yes,
Straight out of a
a
comic book.
100%. Those are my top
Mm.
five in no particular order. But yeah, Rob, what are your top five?
Just to obviously get some out of the way, just because one of them kind of echoes what you were saying was Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll just go a step further, just so it's not a copy. It's just a Joker in general.
Mm.
Obviously there's some adaptations that we kind of wish just never existed. I'm
Jared
not gonna
Leto,
say the
yeah.
name. Okay, or
Yeah.
you can say it,
Yeah.
or you
That
can say
was
it.
that's something, man.
Um, just but again, Heath Ledger's Joker
Hmm.
actually was just one of like the best, adaptations that I
Yeah,
think we've all seen.
100%.
Um, I might sound, like a youngin saying this, but man, who played the Joker before him? Jack Nicholson's Joker. I
Mm.
did watch it. Obviously, you can tell the movie's kind of dated, 1980. So I know for
Yeah.
sure at that time it was like mind blowing that was on your screen.
Yeah.
That must have been like the most exciting thing at the time. Um, but man, Heath Ledger's Joker just man, Christopher Nolan literally did his thing with that.
Yeah, man.
Um, and just to kind of
Unbelievable.
just to get some out of the way was Bane. That was just a amazing portrayal of Bane.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love Bane too. He's arguably one of the better villains. Maybe even surpasses Joker in the sense that this is the literal man that broke Batman physically.
Yeah.
Like he broke Batman physically and mentally too. Obviously that's more what Joker does, but I mean, just a little sneak peek. Like he literally hung all the Robins so that Batman can see them,
Jeez.
like in the back.
Yeah.
I'm saying. So
Yeah.
it's literally like it's amazing.
Straight menace.
Um, yeah, no, like I'm saying, but kind of going. What was it? I'm losing my train of thought.
Was it the High Evolutionary?
Yeah, like that description that you were giving about him. All right,
Yeah.
you're gonna King Joffrey. King
Mm.
Joffrey.
Yes.
Game of Thrones, King Joffrey. That is literally
Yes.
the one that you every week in and out.
Mm-hmm.
You were just hoping, waiting
Oh
for the
man.
moment that fucking kid,
I wanted to
that
punch him through my
fucking
screen,
kid.
man. I wanted to
Oh
punch
my
him through my
god.
fucking screen. I wanted to
Even his little
fucking
sly comments, you were like,
dude.
dude, his
The
voice,
way he
like,
would talk, and you know what? And people don't give Sansa enough shit. Sansa was fucking pissing me off just as much as him sometimes, bro. Because
yeah,
Sansa was just
no,
so. And then was she like, oh, I get she played the long game. I get it, bro. I'm getting mad just thinking about it right now. Yes,
dude,
I 100% agree with you. King Joffrey was one of those guys that just
like
it
that,
went
like,
outside of acting where people legitimately hated him.
yeah, he couldn't be casted anymore because
Mm-hmm.
like that's literally all he was known for, and like, I mean, shout out him, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because like that means you just gave like the utmost amazing performance of your life.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Um, but that's why I said to hold on to that description because that is literally how I felt
yeah.
with King Joffrey. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man. That's three, right? So my other one is actually, he turns good, but Darth Vader was one of the most
Yeah,
amazing villains,
for sure.
of the Star Wars franchise. Obviously, his story is obviously traumatic, with Anakin Skywalker. I think like the preference, right? Like,
Yeah,
or the premise, sorry, of he was just
one
like a little
point. Yeah.
kid, and then Obi-Wan takes him in and stuff like that. But when he becomes the literal Darth Vader,
Mm-hmm.
dude, like that, I think when we visited the comic shop, Enrique, shout out Enrique, he literally told
Mm-hmm.
you there's like an actual storyline of like I think he gets deserted in an island. He's like faced with a bunch of the freaking rebels, and he just
Yeah.
by himself takes them on. Dude, he is insane.
And it was called like
He
Vader
is.
Down or something like that. I could be
Yeah,
wrong, but
that's what it
yeah,
was. I couldn't think of the name. I
yeah,
couldn't think of the name
Vader
at the
Down.
time.
It sounded
Yeah.
awesome. I'm not a Star Wars fan myself. I've never read or watched any of the Star Wars stuff, but I do know I guess
Dude.
surface level stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, that is one of those books that I was as he was telling me, I was
Hmm.
like I want to read that because it sounds
No,
sick.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
dope, dude. I haven't read it too, but like just knowing lore accurate Vader,
Hmm.
from like videos I've seen and stuff like that, dude. He's
Yeah.
a demon, a literal demon.
Yeah.
And then this is also kind of copycat. I was gonna say too. I was kind of hoping you didn't say it, but
Mhm.
Homelander. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
Anthony Starr's,
100%.
acting in
Mhm.
The Boys is just my God.
Amazing.
At
He's amazing.
almost like, and that's almost like him in real life too. I don't know if you've seen like interviews with Anthony
Dude,
Starr. Like
yeah,
he's
he's
just
very.
that blunt, just person. Answering
Yeah,
questions stuff like that. Dude.
yeah, he's phenomenal. No, he really is. I love Anthony Starr, and it's just again, it's one of those performances that you put up, and like people don't know where to cast you
Mm,
anymore because you were just so good in that. Like
no,
I
literally.
don't know what to cast him.
Mhm.
And now on to Daredevil Born Again news. Wilson Bethel says he's set to return as Bullseye in Daredevil Born Again season 3. Season 2 is already coming out, and now we know that season 3 has been greenlit. And then in quotations, he says we've already got picked up for another new season that we will start doing next year. We'll have more Bullseye on the way and Kingpin and all the rest. Wilson
Mm,
Bethel as Bullseye, my brother in Christ. He has been
he's good.
amazing
He's
so
good.
far. That first episode alone, I know a lot of people have mixed opinions about Born Again. I really liked it. I will admit that my rating went down a little bit just on the second rewatch because I watched season 2 again, or sorry, season 1 again.
Mhm.
It did go down a little bit, just a little bit, just simple nitpick stuff. Point is that Wilson Bethel as Bullseye has been literally shaping up to be one of the best casting choices that
Mhm.
we've had in recent times. I can't remember a time where I finally felt like, oh my god, like that's Bullseye. All we're missing is the dang Bullseye, which I hope and pray that we get in season
I think
2.
we're gonna get it.
Dude,
I think we're
I
gonna get it.
hope so because we were getting the double D's with the Bullseye with
I saw,
Daredevil,
yeah,
and we're getting
yeah, I
the
saw
we're
that.
getting the Shadow suit, and dude, it's gonna be
Mhm.
so sick, and it's kind of like their own take on the Shadow suit because it has like some reds in
Mhm.
it, so it's like he's not completely all shadowed. It's just it's perfect, perfect. He's a straight up menace, and I need to see him on the big screen eventually, dude. I want to see Bullseye versus Hawkeye. I want to see Bullseye versus like some other street level tier. I want to see him versus
Mm,
Spider Man.
mhm.
But yeah, and then he also says, I think the coolest Bullseye fight sequence that we have yet to see in the show is part of this season. One that is truly fucking awesome. About season 2, Born Again. Brother, we are going to be eating for season 2, man. I
Yeah,
can't
no, we are
wait.
good.
I think
We are
that they're going
good.
to build off of, because remember there's a lot of reshoots in season 1. There
Mhm.
was a lot of things that you can visibly and audibly even sometimes tell
Right.
in Born Again. For example, that Frank Castle and Matt Murdock scene when had
About
that
the
whole
underground,
monologue.
basically, and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
When he went to go
Mhm.
visit Frank in his little safe house or wherever it was, right?
Yeah.
There was certain parts where you literally could tell it was dubbed over. Only if you pay attention. I noticed it extra,
Mhm.
like even more extra on the second rewatch, which is why it kind of went down
Mhm.
a little bit. But um, yeah, I mean, season 2, Born Again, is gonna be Fireman, and of course,
I'm excited.
we have
I'm
Jessica
excited.
Jones confirmed to be returning.
Mm,
Which I
that's
mean,
gonna
I'm
be
pretty
fun.
sure now the
That's gonna be
Defenders, because
fun.
at the end of season 1, remember he said we need an army, and there was a bunch of
Mhm.
cops, and there was Cherry, and there was everybody was there at the bar, and yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna get the full Defenders now. I'm not sure if you
Mhm.
saw all of like the Defenders series. I don't know if you
I
saw
did.
Iron
Yeah.
Fist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Jessica Jones, I think for sure is like. I mean, I think that it's pretty safe to say that she was. I think right below
Yeah.
Daredevil. I think
Behind, literally
I think
behind.
well,
Yeah.
season one.
Easily.
Season one was amazing. It kind of lacked for me, in my opinion. It kind of just lacked with the other seasons. But yeah, Jessica
Mhm.
Jones is she's coming back. I'm assuming Luke Cage is gonna come back, and I'm praying that they give Danny Rand another chance. They need to give Iron Fist. I forget to get the actor's name, but they need to give him another chance. Season 2 was better than the season 1 for sure.
Mhm.
So I hope that he gets his little redemption arc, and we
Yeah.
gave Channing Tatum a chance to come as Gambit. Let's give the man
Mhm.
the chance to come back as Iron Fist. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And he
I
was. He
loved
was
it.
good. He was
He
good.
was. He was cool. He was cool, and he looked awesome.
Mhm.
So I really hope they hope to give him like a comic accurate suit this time. I can't wait for Iron Fist. Iron Fist is cool.
Mhm.
But speaking on the topic of Marvel shows, Marvel Zombies season 2 is reportedly moving forward at Marvel Studios. I am not
Dope.
happy
That's
about
dope.
that. I'm not. I don't like it.
You don't like it?
I didn't like Marvel Zombies.
Well, why is that?
I think it was weak. I just think
Really?
yeah, I just think it was weak.
I, I didn't watch it, but I know the concept of Marvel Zombies is cool,
And Marvel's,
and
yeah,
like
I have the book of
I
that.
just that's what I'm saying. Like I sort of thought like the
It's
animated show, and I
completely
love animated
different.
shows.
Completely
I thought it
different
would have
from
been
what.
really.
Yeah. Well, I guess not the premise of it. I mean, because they had done like the introduction to it in What If season
Mhm.
2. I think maybe season 1. I
That's
don't know
right.
what it
That's
was.
right.
Right, where they did like the What If Marvel Zombies one, where Janet and Hank came back and they bit them and
Mhm.
they bit the Avengers. That's kind of true. So I mean, I guess that's a little bit accurate, but I'm not talking about really necessarily comic accuracy. I'm just talking about and I think I'm pretty much on like the popular opinion side when I say this, that I just hate the what if animation. I don't like their animation style. I hate
Mm,
that animation style. I didn't bother even watching Eyes of Wakanda, which I know is a little bit different, but for
mm.
some reason that kind of animation style just doesn't attract me. I
Because
tried
you're
my
already on
best.
the
I did watch
fence,
it.
right? About animation in general, like
Yes,
animation
exactly. And
shows
so
in
like
general.
for me, like anything that
Mm,
doesn't look remotely like good to me, it just like
mhm,
because I'm not like too fond of animations in general, and it took me a lot
mhm.
to even watch Invincible, which I ended up
That's right.
loving by the way.
Mhm.
It's for me it's like very hit or miss. But yeah, Marvel Zombies was okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it a rating out of 10. You want to give it a rating?
Well, I didn't watch
Oh,
it.
you need to watch it.
Remember I
Okay,
told you
I'll
I
give
didn't
it.
watch it.
Okay,
I know about it, but I didn't watch it.
yeah. So maybe like a 5, honestly, which is low.
Wow,
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5, dude.
that's an
Honestly.
F. That's an F.
It is. I didn't like it. There was cool scenes. The only reason it's like I guess it even considered for me a 5 was because I liked how strong Namor was. I think that was like thank you. We're getting a little bit of comic accurate Namor here, even though he was a zombie. But Namor was super strong. Um, I liked Blade. Of course, that was our first appearance technically in the MCU of Blade. Even though I guess it's not considered canon. But still,
Okay.
we got. I mean, even and I guess it was Blade Knight, so it was like the physical Khonshu with Blade. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
technically it was Blade, technically it wasn't, but yeah, we got Blade. And then
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Again.
I like Kamala Khan. Obviously, I was a really
Mm-hmm.
big fan of Miss Marvel. I like Miss Marvel. Uh, she's one of the better newer characters that got introduced in the
Mm-hmm.
MCU. I really wanted to see I want to see Kamala. I want to see Miss Marvel season 2. I really do. But
I heard it was good.
yeah, it
I
was. It
heard
was
it was
super
good.
good. It was fun, and I love the family
Mm-hmm.
too. And it's one of the characters that you actually love. Like those are like a
Mm-hmm.
character that they do a great job actually making you like the character. So that's why
There's a
Kamala
cameo
Khan,
in Daredevil, isn't there?
yeah, with her dad. Her dad,
There you
he
go.
was in the bank.
At
It was so fun. Yeah,
the bank.
and
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
was hyped to see
That's
her
a little
dad. Like I was
picture
watching, I
too.
was doing a
That was
watch party
cool.
with my
That's
friends,
cool.
and I was hyped. I was actually excited to see them, which is something
Ooh,
that
I should have
it's
been there.
hard to. You should have been there. I invited you, but it's okay. But it's something that Marvel I think is finally
Mm,
understanding and coming back to doing with especially with
mhm,
Thunderbolts, especially with Fantastic Four. They're making you like the characters again. They did such a great job making you like
mhm,
Kamala Khan and her family and the Khans, and they did such a great job making you love the Thunderbolts. Every single one of those characters. We've seen
mhm.
Yelena in so many projects since. I'm even winning a gamble that she might even be the leader of Avengers Doomsday just because we've seen so much of Yelena,
Wow.
especially in that post credit scene where she was the one that was taking front and of course Reed Richards and Sue Storm and Johnny
Mhm,
Storm and Ben Grimm, all of those I just those were lovable characters. I felt for them and I loved them. So but
mhm,
yeah, that's those are one of the they're back on the track of making you like the characters, which is very important, especially for a movie like Doomsday, because you have to establish characters that we care for, and you have to make
mhm,
us want to see them on the screen again and be hyped when they come on screen again. But
mhm,
but yeah, I mean, of course, and one of the biggest problems with Marvel Zombies, in my opinion, was just the fight sequences were dope. First of all, let me say this: the
mhm,
Captain Marvel is fighting Icarus, which was a sick ass fight scene. That alone was so sick. Um, and then I guess we're just having an oversaturation of like Wanda being like the most powerful character. And
mhm,
like I get it. I get like Marvel fans or I guess not Marvel fans, but Wanda fans are eating in this, and they're just it's fun, but it's like at one point are we just enough's enough, give us something else. Like Wanda's like the one that's taking over this, and
mhm.
she I guess people are saying people kept saying that she beat Infinity Hulk because there's a Hulk in there that tanked the like the entirety of like the Infinity Gems,
Mhm.
and he is now like known as Infinity Hulk. So it's like he's like a strong variant of Hulk, and like he loses to Wanda, but I guess he really doesn't. He just got caught off guard, but and then the way it ended was a little weird. I don't know, like so it definitely set up a season 2. So I mean, I'm not excited for it. I mean, I'm gonna watch it for sure just because I want to review it and stuff
Mhm,
like that. But
mhm.
yeah, again, it's just honestly, it's just the animation. It would have honestly, legitimately, I think it would have been up to like maybe like a 6 or 7 had the animation been better. If it's a different animation, I
Yeah.
actually wanted to I probably would have given it a higher rating. But yeah, it's just the animation style that genuinely just turns away from me. And I know a lot of people have
Mhm,
that opinion too. So it's like, okay, it makes me feel a little bit better as to why I don't like it.
mhm,
Obviously, this is going to be uploaded on a Monday.
mhm.
Um, Wednesday's new comic book day.
That's true.
Actually, no, we just had a previous comic book day. How'd you like that comic book day?
Mm.
Is there anything that you picked up that stood out to you?
So I think I remember saying in the last episode that I had to catch up on a lot of the Ultimates, and
Yes.
before I get into my favorite, which is the Absolute Batman series going on, let me just say the Ultimates, my God, it's just it
Yeah.
peak.
Yeah.
I know that's a word that you throw around a lot,
Yeah.
and you never throw it around like unless you're serious. And
Mm-hmm.
man,
No,
it
it was
was
unbelievable.
oh
It
yeah,
was
it was really good.
that was
It
my
was
favorite
super
Ultimates
good,
issue by far. It was
and I can
Ultimates
see
issue
why.
number 17.
And I can see why.
Phenomenal job. Doom already is a very complex character as it is. He's a
Hmm.
very not heart, I don't want to say heartfelt, but he's very like
Hmm.
emotionally driven as well as like
Hmm.
there's a lot of narcissism involved, and
Yeah.
Doom is a complex character. The point is Doom is a complex character, and that
Mhm.
somehow find a way to elevate his character to like the point where it's like, jeez, man, it was almost like a bittersweet, almost like gut wrenching feeling, especially
Mhm.
I don't want to spoil too much because I hope that you guys are reading the comics, but
Mhm.
yeah, man, issue number 17 was amazing, and I also know that there's a new Absolute Batman issue that came out. No,
Oh man, it was Batman Annual One, and
yeah,
my God,
I've been hearing a lot of fuss about that online, man.
it really it was just, I'm not even, like, no pun intended. It was absolutely
Mm.
like amazing.
Hmm.
I think, I mean, so much, like, I think even your girlfriend picked up like
Yeah,
Absolute
she
Batman
did.
Year One.
Yeah.
It was just like, and I don't know if she's into DC like that. I know her brother is, but
Yeah, she's actually a bigger DC fan than she is a Marvel fan. She
mm,
doesn't read any DC, but she grew up watching a lot
okay,
of like she even knew like
no,
who
yeah,
Huntress was, and her
mm,
username is like involving Huntress. Yeah, she's a big DC
mm,
person.
no, yeah, dude, it was so good. There was actually some controversy on that as well, because I think
Yeah,
I'm only just going to be talking about what was like on the previews and stuff like that, and
yeah,
not much with what's in there. But he breaks the arm of a Nazi. That's actually one of the previews that they show
yeah.
is the head of a Nazi. And I think the the artist for this specific comic was he teased it by Absolute Batman choking out, yeah, I don't want to
Mm.
get too political, but an ICE member, and that just
Mm.
goes to show that, I mean,
Yeah,
you know what, I can't even say too much, but I mean, you guys take that with what you guys want. I mean,
yeah.
dude,
I'll say it.
this
Fuck
version of
Ice.
Absolute Batman, no,
I'll say it.
yeah, you know what, yeah, fuck ICE, you
Fuck
know,
Ice. I'm in.
and this is actually something that I wanted to talk about too, was a lot of the people that are actually upset about this, just they don't know the comic book characters. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I don't know if you see a lot of like Blue Lives, type of people like
Yeah.
having the Punisher logo, and it's like,
Yes.
do you know who the Punisher is? You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no. So I mean, that just teasing it in that way was just kind of it,
Yeah.
it was like the most clever way to kind of like
Talk about
mirror the
today's
two.
times
Like
and
mirror the
still,
two. Like,
yeah.
I just think it was clever.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I'll send it to you. I don't know if you want to include it in just like a little,
Like a
just a
little
little
still
side,
image there. Yeah, I'm in.
you
Okay.
know what I mean? But it's a great comic book. If you guys
Yeah.
aren't into the Absolute, you guys need to now. I think now they kind of have those. Lex, you're smarter than me. What is it called? Those little volumes where it has like all the issues of like the
Oh,
previous.
the trade
There
paperbacks.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think now they have Absolute Batman 1 to issue. I don't even know.
I
But
think
man,
it's usually your trade paperbacks have like issues like 1 through 5, 1 through 6 sometimes.
dude, it's
Yeah, and then it goes by like volumes. So it's like volume one, volume
mhm.
two. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It should have like I think uh, volume one should have like 1 through 5, 1 through 6, depending on.
No, yeah.
It just depends. But yeah, I've been wanting to read it, man, because I just me, I don't read a lot of DC, but yeah, I've been seeing a lot of controversy, a lot of talk about it online, especially
Mhm.
X. Um, there's a lot of people
Yeah, but
upset about it. A lot of people are just taking things out of context, and some people just hear the story and they're just like, "Oh, yeah, Batman would never do that." And then there's some even conversations going on, which is something I wanted to talk to you about. Is
mm,
there's a lot of people saying that Batman killed in this comic. And then there's a lot of people saying that he walked a very fine line where it wasn't
mm,
enough to kill them, but it was like damn near they might as well have been.
mm.
I mean, I saw there was a panel of him having a flamethrower in it. I was like, so how the hell did
Yeah,
that not kill anybody? It's like it's like I don't know, like did he kill? Did he not? Is that something that you would
uh,
be okay with as a Batman fan? Like
so
if he were to kill like people like in that affiliation.
uh, so I guess, and this is it's hard too, right? Because a lot of people are being a little clever and saying like, these people, he doesn't kill people.
Yeah.
He killed Nazis. Nazis
Hmm.
aren't people, and I think that's clever, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean that to me that's true.
Yeah.
But I also saw. I gotta find it. You know, there was some. I don't know if it was like the writer or somebody said that he didn't technically kill them. You know, it was kind of like what you said, like that fine line to where it was like damn near, close, which actually is something that Alfred says in I think the first or second issue of Absolute Batman, where he's talking about him watching him work, watching him fight.
Yeah,
The party animals. That's Black Mask's group that he has.
right.
It's like the first few issues, and he even says that while he's admiring his work, he's saying that he's precise, he's fast, he's brutal yet delicate.
Mm,
He he what was the exact wording? He says that he cuts right below the artery, just so that they don't die. Like he's
mm,
he's careful, he's precise. You know what I mean? Basically,
yeah,
and I think that's something that happened here. If it's true,
yeah.
it does look like they died. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It
Hmm.
does look like they died. Because I think the Nazi, or the white supremacist group even says like, "Hey, what are you doing? Like, we're just, people. We're human beings." And he says, "You're not human beings. You're roaches
Mm.
with the flamethrower." You know what I mean?
That's tough.
And there, yeah,
Yeah.
and there's more to it into the comic. Again, I don't want to spoil too much, but there is, at the end, there's like a small monologue with his dad, basically, kind of reminding Bruce who he is.
Yeah.
And there's like a scene where he's kind of crying, with his head down. You know, I think they leave it up to us, the readers, to kind of,
Yeah.
decipher that, whether he's ashamed of what he did, or, he's ashamed that he was close to killing them.
Mm.
He's ashamed that he's as brutal as he is. They leave
Yeah.
it up
Up
to
for
us, right?
interpretation. Right.
Yeah. So, and then to your point about like, is this something that I would what was your question? That would I like to see, or do I
Yeah.
like?
Like, would you mind if this is like one of the I guess the exceptions of Batman killing? Like, is that something
I
that's like, because should Batman have exceptions in killing? You know what I mean? It's like,
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think what this comic book did, if he did kill, was that ending showing that he was ashamed and that he hated what he did,
yeah.
shows that's who Batman and Bruce Wayne is. That's
Mm.
some that's a what's it called? Not a level. That's he never wants to take it that far.
Yeah.
He never did. Which is something that I didn't like with the Batfleck, Ben Affleck's Batman,
Yeah.
which was just who he was now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like there was like a difference, right?
Yeah.
Like if this Bruce Wayne killed, he was ashamed that he did it.
Hmm.
He doesn't know why he did it. He didn't like that he did it.
Yeah.
Whereas Ben Affleck's, like, let's be honest, you guys rewatch the scenes, you watch the warehouse scene, he throws a
Yeah.
grenade at somebody, he kills them, and that's something
Yeah.
that he's okay with. At least to
Yeah.
me, it looks like he's okay with it.
Never really was
You know,
touched upon too. It was just kind of just
yeah,
what it is. Yeah.
and that's the difference for me, right? Like a Batman that kills that is okay with it to me isn't Batman, which is
Yeah.
why I didn't like Ben Affleck's Batman.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people said that. In terms of fighting, I think he was very close, comic book accurate in terms of his fighting. I think that's why you even like Ben Affleck's
Yeah.
Batman.
I
You
loved
know.
his suit. I loved how he looked. I love how bulky he
Hmm.
looked. I loved. I
Hmm.
think I still think to this day it's the best combat that we've had in any live action Batman
Hmm.
movie. I think Christian Bale's Batman fights were awful. I think they looked super choreographed.
Hmm.
Maybe a hot take, but they look very super choreographed. Like you know what I mean? It's just like they look very
No, yeah,
they look bad in my opinion.
yeah,
I
yeah.
loved Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman. I wish we
Hmm.
got to see like a solo Batman movie, just not under the reigns of Zack Snyder. Um, but
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean it's a lot of
Yeah.
people.
So
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like his
yeah.
Batfleck because of that reason, and I understand it.
Hmm. Yeah, no. So yeah, to your point, like no, I don't think Batman should kill. If that's what Scott Snyder did with this one, I love, and Scott Snyder's an amazing writer. I don't have to tell you that. Like
Yeah,
he's an amazing
yeah.
writer. To show that it's something that he's ashamed with and he didn't like, was I liked it.
It was it was a good, I guess, way of showing him that this isn't what he wanted to do. But I mean, I don't know if it
Mhm.
was like for the greater good or something. But I mean,
Yeah, and then and you kind of see it too in the comic book. Again, I don't want to say too much. You guys will see that it's a lot happens. You
yeah,
know what I mean? And I don't know if this is like what happens in a lot of annuals. I'm relatively new to this. I know you've been into this for like a lot longer than me, but the annual doesn't really kind of follow the ongoing story as much. I
Yeah.
don't know if you know what I'm saying on this because this one didn't really. And I've been following Absolute Batman.
Yeah.
I think the last where we left off is Bane and Catwoman and stuff like that. And Batman Annual didn't touch on any of that.
Right.
It was more so his dad and a bunch of other things going on in Gotham and stuff like that. So I mean, who knows? Maybe this wasn't Batman. Maybe this was just like an internal thought of Batman. Maybe it was a dream about it. A lot
Yeah.
happened. A
It
lot
could
happened.
be. Yeah. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah. I mean, sometimes annuals like throw curveballs like that or shit. Sometimes it's just like,
So
I mean, the year wrapped up into like a year in kind of thing.
mhm.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just kind of like shocked because it's like I thought the whole thing with Batman was obviously not to kill no matter how crappy the person might be, but
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with today's climate of the world, it's definitely one of those
Mhm.
things that it's like it's gonna cause controversy. I think they knew that
Yeah,
this
for
was gonna
sure,
cause
for sure.
some noise up in, especially with with the I don't want to call it a certain group, but certain groups of people. It's just
Mhm.
it's not gonna sit right with them, especially because some of those people believe that
Mhm.
they lean more on their side than the other side, and it's just there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to, like you said, Punisher, when it comes to Batman, when it comes to Superman, and people think
Mhm.
that they would agree with what's going on with today's climate. I think it's
Right.
good that the comic book writers are now starting to put that into the actual comic books instead of just making
Mhm.
tweets about it and then being like, "Hey, just in case you forgot, we're not on your
Mhm.
side." So I think
No,
that's
yeah,
good.
yeah. I love that.
I
I
think
love
it's
that.
fantastic that they're starting to do that, so these people can actually
Mhm.
start to understand. Hopefully, a better understanding of what's going on in today's climate, as well as like, hey, these comic book characters are not what you're thinking they are.
If it's cool with you, Lex, I think next week, me and you, we should do a little breakdown of like how each of them kind of came to be because they're pretty similar. I think long story short, I think Ultimates, and I'll let you explain it.
Yeah,
A lot of it had to do with the maker kind of rewriting it,
yeah,
and then I
yeah.
mean
There's definitely some
thing with
parallels
DC,
with the absolute
same thing with
and the
DC,
ultimate. Yeah,
Dark Side. There's a lot of things that Dark Side did that kind of made the Absolute universe kind of. I think both of them kind of relate to
yeah.
kind of stripping away their advantages and stuff like that. Kind of recreating the stories of the heroes that we know and love. So
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean that's something we can look into next episode. If we want to break that down,
I'm in.
or
I
I
am
guess
in.
whatever we just talked about.
Yeah. It's a bit of a short episode today, but it's okay. We're a little tired. My birthday was yesterday. I'm still a little tired. I had a little party
Birthday
yesterday with
punk,
the boys. I know, bro.
punk,
25, man. 25.
man,
Yeah. A little bit all over the place with
fuck.
this episode, but it's okay. We'll be back next week. It was a blast. Remember, turn your brain off and just pick up some damn books and
Mm-hmm.
Absolute Batman Annual 1.
Annual one.
It's a banger. Go read it. Yeah, any final thoughts, Rob?
No final thoughts. Daylight savings just happened right now, so I know it's gonna be a lot darker, a lot sooner. So I
Damn,
think
yeah,
that
huh?
just means you guys can chill at home. I mean, there's no point going outside. It's gonna get dark.
Yeah.
Just sit inside, read your comics, do what you need to do.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I had a blast. See you guys next week's episode, and yeah, make sure to pick up a comic book this week. See you guys.
So you guys, love you.